The Changing Diabetes Media Cookout was held to raise awareness about the disease and how people can change their everyday habits to lead a healthier lifestyle. The aim is to educate the public on how to positively manage the illness.
It's estimated that there are more than 14 million people living with diabetes in Africa and approximately 2 million cases of diabetes in South Africa. And these numbers are expected to more than double by 2030. Now, while these statistics are worrying, it is good to know that diabetes is manageable. That's why I'm here at the Changing Diabetes Cook-Off, where they are helping to educate people on implementing healthy choices when it comes to cooking.
The event was hosted by Novo Nordisk, a global healthcare company with over 90 years of experience in diabetes care. Attendees were taught about the link between diabetes, diet and nutrition. Making simple changes in the choice of food you eat can significantly lower the impact of the disease.
Now, I know that you are at the forefront of changing perceptions around diabetes, but can you tell me a little bit more about the Changing Diabetes campaign?
The Changing Diabetes campaign revolves around Novo Nordisk being the global diabetes leader. It involves empowering, educating, as well as inspiring patients both in prevention of the disease as well as in coping of the disease. Most people think, well, if you've got diabetes, that is the end of the world. And I think it gives people hope in terms of whether it is a lifestyle intervention or a support program from a caregiver to a doctor in terms of assisting them going forward.
And what different initiatives do you have in place to assist people living with diabetes?
We generally are involved in terms of creating awareness. A few campaigns that we've run is the Changing Diabetes Cycle Marathon. We also have the Changing Diabetes Bus, which is a global concept that we brought down to South Africa. What it is a mobile clinic providing facilities to patients that are either diabetic or non-diabetic to be able to screen them and assist them going forward with the disease.
Dietitian Anneli Smith shared some great recipes and showed how simple changes in your diet can lead to a healthy, vibrant lifestyle.
What are some of the practical changes that people can make to help manage diabetes?
Practical changes is to make sure that you know what you can and cannot do. And what I always tell people is do something that you can do every day. Something, if you're going to make a change, do something that you can do long term. Looking at the types of fat that you eat, staying away from animal fat, staying away from fats and dairy and red meat, and then rather sticking to things like plant fats and oils and fat in fish, which is much healthier for diabetics. We encourage people to do is that lifestyle is first and medication second. And so rather change your lifestyle as much as possible and then manage the rest with medication.
How important is it to read the labels on the back of food products?
Go and read the labels, go and look at what types of fat. So these days it will tell you there's so much fat, of which what is saturated fats, and that's what you want to avoid, and it must have more unsaturated fats and monounsaturated fats. So it's really important to look at what is actually in the food that you eat.
MasterChef runner-up and soon-to-be cookbook author Sue Ann Allen showed off her culinary skills with some mouth-watering dishes, while Isidingo's Keketso Semoko was there to try her hand at the delicious recipes and to share some of her knowledge about living with diabetes.
Keketso, you are one of South Africa's most loved television personalities and actresses, but I do know that you have been living with diabetes. When did you find out that you had it, and how have you been able to manage it so far?
I've had diabetes for the past 7 years. It has changed my life in the sense that I'm more conscious, and more willing to live a better life.
And what were some of the practical changes that you had to make to your diet and to your exercise regime?
The practical changes that I made more than anything was knowing what my intakes are, which means that when I go shopping, I read everything. I just don't take things for granted. It's about reading it and understanding that it's something that I can take, that my body needs. I'm making sure that you're conscious of your exercise, how often you eat, what quantities of meals you eat and what those meals contain, and making sure that you have enough sleep, and making sure that you drink a lot of water. I had to balance my life in that way.
Keketso, you've come such a long time since being diagnosed with diabetes, 7 years. What was it like initially finding out that you had it?
It was very stressful finding out right at the beginning. I couldn't accept it. The first day I was told, I cried the whole day. It was difficult because suddenly you realize that you have to make a major change in your life in order to prolong your life and really enjoy life. But with time you realize that the goal is to live a healthy life, and you really push yourself that way.
The majority of people in South Africa suffer from type 2 diabetes. With healthy nutrition and regular checkups, diabetes can be managed and individuals can lead a full life.